All right, because we in the trenches.
I need to use that. I didn't know that. Yeah. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Mondays with McGriff. Monday, November 24th, 2025. If you are with, this is season 3, episode 3, our Thanksgiving break edition. If you are in education, this is Thanksgiving week. Man, these things have changed. Back when I was in school, you went to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then Wednesday, you start going Monday, Tuesday, and now they give them the whole week off. So that everybody can fish and hunt and people can have the week off. So kids got off, school teachers got off. Thanksgiving break edition of Mondays with McGriff. This is season 3, episode 3. Okay, Monday the 24th here, okay? We always start off with our soapbox. Thanksgiving week soapbox used to be that this week, Thanksgiving week, was opening week of the season. The FSA has moved everything up a week. I don't really like it. If you got football players, you don't have them. That's 1 week more that you don't have them. Okay, there's 1 week more that you don't have them to get acclimated. And we know a lot of people now, there are more kids that are specializing, but in our area, we still have football guys, right? And so I don't like that they moved it up a week. This used to be the week that we started playing. You always started in tournaments with big showcases and stuff like we have this week, okay? Also, shout out to some, on Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, if you are still playing football, that means you are a contender for the state championship. We've got 2 Polk County teams left. The 2 best teams in the county have been the last few years. Lakeland has to travel to Edgewater to play Edgewater. Lakeland was the number 2 seed, and Edgewater number 1. So we're Polk County people. We're rooting for Lakeland, and then Lake Wells has got to go to Jones. Lake Wells and Jones were in the same district. Jones beat Lake Wells pretty good the first time. We'll see how the rematch goes. And we're rooting for Lake Wells and Lakeland. They're playing on Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, in the regional final. That's the Elite 8. So congratulations to those 2 teams. We're rooting for those football teams to continue playing because we're repping Polk County, right? Basketball, if you're playing after President's Day, that President's Day is like the 3rd Monday of February. If you're playing after President's Day, you're in the hunt. You got a chance to win the state championship. So to those 2 teams, good luck, okay? Okay, soapbox issue. Our 3 soapbox issue for this week, we're going to go with 3 R's. 3 R's. What do basketball team, what does the Bartow team, what does Thanksgiving week mean? And for a lot of basketball teams, 3 R's, okay? Rejuvenation, recreation, and reunion. All right? Rejuvenation, recreation, and reunion, okay? Rejuvenation, why are the kids rejuvenated? And the coaches, me too. We don't have to be at school at 7 a.m. in the morning. That's early. You got to get up 5:30 and get dressed to be there at 7 o'clock. There's some long days. Last Friday, we got to school at 7 o'clock in the morning. So that means you got to get up 5:30, not just the kids, but the coaches, right, that are school teachers. And then we played Olympia and got home about 11 o'clock. Okay, and during the week, we had sponsor night on Thursday. So you're there at 7 o'clock. So kids get a little more rest. They're actually fresher. They get a little bit more rest. Even though we practice in the morning, like this morning we practiced at 9 a.m., kids still get a little bit more rest. You don't have to wake up as early. Just the body start to feel a little better. You think about it. We have been practicing since October 27th. And so that's 15 or 16 practices every day, beating up on each other, playing games. So the kids will be rejuvenated by Thanksgiving week. So that's the first R. Second one, recreation. Kids use this time. I had several kids that went over to Orlando to be a part of the Florida Classic activities between FAMU and BCC. I don't know if all of them went to the game, right? But they've got all of these parties and events and activities going on. I think one kid went to the game. Most of them, some of the older guys are going on just to hang out and recreate. We've got guys that go bowling. They go out to the movies. They go dirtbike riding. Okay, me, what do you do for fun, Coach McGriff? I'll be cooking, dressing, and apple pies on Wednesday. That's recreation. It's fun to me. It's relaxing. Okay, so recreation, the second R in Thanksgiving week, and the third R in Thanksgiving week, reunion. What a reunion? Family reunion, right? Probably more so than Christmas. Families get together. You guys know that we're big family people with Bartow basketball. I'm a big family person. And so to hear the stories of what people are. I ask the guys, well, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Well, we're getting together with my aunt and my brother and my mom's brother and my grandparents, and we're having dinner over my grandparents' house, right? And so it's a time of family reunion, okay? Probably people adding a few pounds, all right? But I like family, and it's a time that our team also is a little bit of reunion. We get together, okay? We spend a little bit of time. There's no class. There's no school, so we can spend a little bit more time together as a family in practice, watching film, on the bus, things like that. So basketball season is in full throttle. Second week of the regular season. Thanksgiving week used to be the opening week. Now it's the second week. It's a big showcase week. Most people don't have home games. Why? The fans won't show up. 3 R's: rejuvenation, recreation, reunion. Great time for basketball. Second week of the season, okay? Last thing with Soapbox, we are still kind of in preseason mode with our practice. We're practicing hard. We're trying to get our guys better. We're demanding excellence, okay, and we're working on it. So we still have a preseason mode. We're not fully in regular season mode yet with practices. And so it is what it is. We got to get better, okay? Review. We're going to our second part of it, our review from last week. First of all, a great week. We went 2-0. I don't think we started 2-0 last year, so to start 2-0, yeah, we did start 2-0 last year. We didn't start 2-0 the year before. So, you know, our first year we won 6 games. So people say, well, why do you count that? Why is that important? I want to win more than 6 games. And we were 6-21. That was painful. And make no mistake about it, winning, you're in this, we want to win, right? We're not just keeping score. It's not recreation ball. Okay, you want to win. So we went 2-0 this week. 3 things we want to review. First of all, sponsor night. You're probably seeing some clips of it right now. 55 sponsors, over about 30 of them. I think it was 31 that were in attendance, okay? I want to thank the sponsors for your support. I talked about, there's so many of them, they're double-digit sponsors that have been supporters for over 20 years. Double-digit sponsors. That's remarkable. I think there's another 25 to 28 that have been sponsors for over 10 years. So you're talking about over half the sponsors have been with us over 10 years. And that's pretty remarkable. We're very blessed in Bartow that they support the school. They support this community. The community supports the basketball team. Okay? Why do they support? They value what we value. What do we value? Young men that work hard, play hard, okay? They're great teammates. Okay, and they have a goal set out individually. We got a lot of guys that want to play college basketball. We got a lot of guys that want to be businessmen, you know, after high school that want to pick up a trade. Okay, they help our kids reach their goals. They like the way we do things. That's why they support us. And they help our kids reach their goals. So we're thankful for the sponsors about that. And we do have a video that's coming out to sponsors and that you all will see this week on our social media platform. So number 1, sponsor night. We thank you for a great sponsor night. Number 2, we had a ball game on sponsor night. It was George Jenkins, Thursday, November 20th. We beat the Eagles 65-21. Okay, Sheldon Dennis, Topper Dennis, his first season as a head coach. I have a relationship that goes back with him almost 30 years. I did not coach him with the Lakeland Fire, but as you guys know who are with the Lakeland Fire, we all kind of coached each other's teams, so he's like family to me. He was good enough. He actually came in sponsor night and ate. We feed the sponsors in sponsor night, and he came in and ate and had chicken, and I looked over to him and you enjoy that chicken because when the ball jumps, that's it. And we beat them 65-21. I want to give you some information on the series. It's our 23rd straight win over George Jenkins. 23rd straight win, and that's hard to do, and we don't take that for granted. People say, well, you know, Jenkins. Traditionally, we've had a better basketball program. There's been some years that they've had just as good a talent, maybe more, and we've managed to beat them 23 straight times. We've won 31 out of 32 in the series, okay? We are 33-5 against Jenkins in my 24 years. That's pretty remarkable. It's not easy to do, okay? And Thursday night was probably easy, but it's not easy to do. Why did we win the game on Thursday? First thing, talent. And not coaching. My Jimmys and Joes were better than his Jimmys and Joes, okay? Our players are just simply better than those players. Now, I know what Coach Dennis wants to do. He was one of George Jenkins' best players. He's going to build it from scratch, right? He's going to get them to compete hard. I thought they competed hard. We just had more talent. He's going to develop his guys in the offseason to be better. He has not given up on this season. He's trying to get them ready for February. Number one reason we beat them, we got players, right? Number two reason, our guys play harder than Jenkins for longer. Right? We were really embarrassed with how we played the Tuesday and Thursday before over at Lake Highland. Lake Highland Prep just out-executed us, and Windermere Wolverines just played harder. And I told you guys last week, we do not want anybody. We're going to lose some games, but we don't want anybody playing harder. Nobody. If we're playing the Heat, we don't want anybody playing harder than the Yellow Jackets. So in practice last week, we worked to fix that, and you can see it against Jenkins. We were not crisp offensively, but they did not play harder than us, and so we outplayed Jenkins for longer. We were able to sustain it. Jenkins played hard the first quarter, but we were able to sustain it for 4 quarters. Okay. Third biggest reason we beat George Jenkins, we just simply got more shot attempts than them. I'm gonna give you some numbers. Okay. We shot the ball 60 times. They shot it 37 times. That's 23 more shots. Okay, we shot 19 free throws. They shot 10. That's 9 more free throws. I'm not talking about makes, just shot attempts. Okay, why does that happen? Offensive rebounding, one of our keys. 25 offensive rebounds for us, 16 points. Jenkins only got 6. We call it in Bartow thuggery in the pivot. And we want to be thugs. We want to be just tough. We want to hit somebody right in the mouth. It's old football terminology. We want to just hit, get, bump, grind, thug it out. I thought we did that to Jenkins. Okay, and we forced 27 turnovers. Okay, now they forced 21, so I want to give them credit for their hustle. But we forced 27 turnovers. So anytime you get 25 offensive rebounds, it also means we missed a lot of shots. Okay, and we forced 27 turnovers. Okay, you get 60 shots, they get 37. It's tough for them to win. Okay, opportunities for growth. So we weren't perfect. Opportunities that we got to get better in. We already told you we had 21 turnovers. Okay, we only scored, I think, 6 points in the first quarter. Okay, well, if you're throwing the ball to the team in green, it's going to be tough to score. Our point guard play below standard. Our wing play below standard. Most of the turnovers, poor decision making. We got to do a better job coaching. Our players got to do a better job playing. We can't have 21 turnovers. Second opportunity for growth. 6 for 19 from the free throw line. Now, I want to tell y'all, fans, because I always get fans to say, Coach, you need to work on free throws. I get a guy that one time said, Coach, I need to come in your practice and work on your free throws. I brought him in to work on the free throws the next week, and we still shot him bad that year. So I want to let you know, we have worked on free throw shooting more with this team than any team we have in the recent memory. And I don't know about 24 years ago, but in the last 7 or 8 years. Because I think you can win a game or lose a game early in the year with free throw shooting. Everybody works on it throughout the year, but you can win a game or lose a game. So we've been working on it. It's a matter of focus and concentration for our team. We got pretty good shooters. We're working on it. First game, it's the first game. It's exciting for the guys, and there's a little bit of jitters. 6 for 19. We can get better with that. But we'll take the win. Anytime you can win, okay, it's a good win. And we don't take it for granted when against Jenkins, okay? 2 individuals stood out. Matthew Williams, 17, kind of his introduction to everybody. All the fans don't follow us in the summer league. We post stuff in the fall. They don't follow us. But we told you last week that Matt Williams is going to surprise people. His daddy was on my first 2 teams. Okay, and I had 2 fans text me and say, "Where's that kid? Where did he transfer from?" And I said, "He's not a transfer. He's another one of the Yellow Jackets that have developed. Okay, played JV last year. Bad coaching. Probably should have been on varsity. 17 points, 8 for 13 shooting." 4 rebounds, 3 offensive, 2 deflections, 5 steals. We had a guy play for us back in 2013 and 2014 named DeAndre Jordan. You guys remember DeAndre Jordan. He was the best anticipator we've ever had on defense. He could get his hands on steals, great cornerback. Match right there with him. Coach Morrell, if you're watching this show, you should be watching the show. You need to get him to play some football now, because that kid, he'll be the best anticipating guy you have in the secondary. Gets his hands on balls and gets deflections and steals like nobody business. 17 points. Got to get better on the ball. Defensively, not where we want to be. Lacks a little bit of physicality. Got a defensive rebound. Got 4 rebounds, 3 were offensive. Got a defensive rebound to play, but 17 points in your first home game, 8 for 13 shooting, 5 steals. Pretty good introduction to Bartow. To varsity for Matt Williams. Other guy, people know, Derwin Link. Sensational, 17 points, 8 for 10 shooting. I think he had 3 or 4 dunks. People love dunks. Everybody, even Durbin, he says, well, Coach, he's watching film. You didn't celebrate on my dunk. I said, I did that. That's my celebration. A great job, okay? 8 for 10 shooting, 6 rebounds, 3 offensive, 3 defensive, 4 steals. Dirk was a good anticipator, too. 3 block shots. The block shots were tremendous, okay? 3 block shots. He's really worked in the offseason. We told you last week. He's really worked in the offseason to be better. He embraces physicality a little bit more than what he did last year. He's excellent in transition. He's rebounding better. He still's got to get better with his understanding of how we want him to play defense. Okay, he's got a defensive rebound with more tenacity. He's got to grab more and just be physical with him. But these guys, both those guys did a good job being active on the glass. They're able to put the ball in the basket. Both Matt and Derwin were able to put the ball in the basket. It didn't look like it the first quarter when it was 7-6, but it really came as the game went along. Okay, so great win. We'll take it. Our first win of the season, sponsor night, right? Second game of the week at Olympia. We told you last year, we told you last week on last week's show, every year we pick teams to go over and play. Or we pick a 2-year series with teams. So in recent years, we played Berkeley Prep at home. We went to Berkeley Prep first the year before. We played Tampa Catholic at home last year, okay, the year before we went there. We played Miami Norland every year. Well, that started out as a 2-year series. I went to him first. He came to me the next year. Now we got a series. We played them in a couple weeks at home. Well, I called the Olympia coach because we need to play more Orlando teams that are really good. You guys know that our district is tough and our region is tough. 4 teams from the region that made the region tournament are from the same district in Orlando. So I didn't, you don't want to play those teams, but we decided we called Oak Ridge, we called Olympia to see who would play, and Olympia decided to play. And anytime I start a series, I say, wait a minute, I'm not trying to trick you. I'll come to you. So guess what? We went to Olympia on Friday, November 21st, and beat the Titans in Olympia, 77-64. It was 77-64. A little bit of series history. We're now 2-1 versus Olympia. We played them twice. Both times have been in the Metro Challenge that we play in this week. We've never played home series with them. We haven't played them in the Mosaic. We haven't played them at their place. So this will be the first time we playing at their place. We actually got a little lost. The kids were asking me when we got to the school, where's the gym? I'm like, I don't know. So we had to find the gym. So it was a great win. Okay, and this is the best road win outside of Polk County that we've had since 2021. Let me say that again. This is the best road win that we've had. Now, I'm not talking about the county road wins because all those wins are sweet, right? You guys know how we feel about the county. But this is the best road win we've had. All these 2-year series we've had, we have not won on the road. We lost to Jesuit at Jesuit, lost to Tampa Catholic at Tampa Catholic, we lost to Berkeley Prep at Berkeley Prep. We haven't beat Miami Norland at home at their place since I think the first state championship year 2019. So this was a huge road win. Okay, 2 reasons why we won. Okay, 2 reasons. Number 1, we had the psychological advantage. Now, everybody listen closely. You guys know I like to teach basketball. I'm gonna teach you something about how we motivate our kids and the psychology of basketball, right? We had a psychological advantage and we played to it. Here's why. Olympia played their big rival, Dr. Phillips, on Tuesday. I put the tape in that game. It is packed. There's wall to wall. They got a student section. There's a standing room only. They got the band there. They beat Dr. Phillips by 18 on Tuesday. And I said to myself, now the little old Yellow Jackets come in and we're not a rival. They know we're good. But unless you've been coaching all the long time, you can identify that your kids better be ready. Sometimes you struggle with a letdown, right? And Coach Ship's doing a good job at Olympia. He's in his 2nd year. But when I saw that crowd, I said, ooh, we got a little bit of psychological advantage because they're up from their game on Tuesday against Dr. Phillips. Second reason we got a psychological advantage. We went to Orlando the week before and got our butt spanked. Lake Highland Prep beat us by double digits. Windermere was up by 18 and wound up losing by 5, but we just got punked out, thugged out. We got out hustled, we got out man, we got out Yellow Jacket, and we came to practice and say we will not be out hustled, we will not be thugged out, we will not be punked out, we're not going to be out Yellow Jacket. And so some of the psychological advantage was because of their win. Some of the psychological advantage was because of our loss. And when we finish that game Thursday against Jenkins and say, now don't get on the bus if you're expecting to go to Orlando and get our butt spanked. Every time we go over here, dating back to the playoffs, we get our butt spanked. And yes, I'm getting closer, and we're not going to get our butt spanked. Don't get on the bus. Well, that mentality showed up in the 77-64 win. We totally outplayed them. Okay? How did we win the game? I'll give you a couple of reasons. The second reason why we won the game, that was the first one. We had a psychological advantage. Some they created, some we created, right? Second reason why we won the game. We got more shots than they did, pure and simple. So we got up 66 shots. They got out 45. The same thing happened against Jenkins. How is that happening? And okay, we got more talent than George Jenkins. Maybe that's supposed to happen. When you go to Olympia and you get 66 shots up and they get 45 shots, that's 21 more shots, okay? I don't think most people thought that would happen, but it happened again, okay? Second reason, the free throws were close. Okay, we were 18 for 22. We talked about, okay, we were 6 for 19. We were 18 for 22. We are a good free throw shooting team. It's a matter of focus. Okay, and they made 22. They were 22 for 28, so that was close, right? Okay. How do you get 66 shots and the other team get 45? Thuggery in the pivot. That's what we call it. Offensive rebounding. Even though they're a little longer, we had 15 offensive rebounds. They had 8. We had 15. They had 8. So we're still not shooting the ball well, right? But we got some second looks, right? Okay. The second reason why you get more shots, 66 shots to 45. We had 13 turnovers. Okay, they had 23. That tells me our defense really affected them, okay, and gave us more opportunities to score. So you get 10 more turnovers, you create 10 more turnovers, 7 more shots off offensive rebounds. That's how you beat a team at their place, okay. That was Bartow basketball. That's the way we want to play. We are not going to always have the more talent, but we want to hit, get, bump, grind, thug it out. We're going to play with our defense, okay? One of the things, the whippings that we took at Lake Highland Prep, we told our guys, I do not care what you're doing on offense as long as you don't turn the ball over and take good shots, play together. Okay, offense affect how you play defense, okay? When we go to Final Fours, it's because we are defending rebound. If you don't defend and rebound with great effort and you don't play harder, you're going to sit. And we told that to our senior, down to our freshmen, from Crosby down to Zimmerman, and we coach that way, and you can really see the difference, okay? So, great job, great win, 77-64, and we didn't shoot the ball well, okay, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's go to, that's time, opportunities for growth, okay? Two opportunities for growth. Convert the turnovers into more points. We forced 23 turnovers, we only got 12 points out of it. There's something that we see as an issue in practice, okay? It's something we're working to correct in practice. It's an area that we can get better in, okay? Somebody may ask, well, Coach McGriff, if you force 20 turnovers, how many points do you expect out of it? For every turnover, you want to get a point off of it. You're not going to be perfect. So if we had 23 turnovers, we want 23 points, but we only got 12, so we got to convert more. Okay, the second thing, opportunity for growth. We were 3 for 19 from the three-point line. Hey, we took good shots. Okay, we're practicing, we're getting up shots in practice. We're really focusing on game shots in practice. Somebody may ask, well, how do you get guys to make shots? You don't touch that. You don't overcoach shooting. You get the guys to keep their mind on their mechanics. Okay, we'll watch film and say, hey man, you weren't on balance on that shot. You got to be balanced when you shoot, okay? Don't rush shots. If you can't do it, shot fake, make a play, make another play. And you just keep believing that, and then you get them to take good shots. Okay, and those shots will fall, and we feel confident that those shots will fall. So that's how they're definitely 2 areas that we will grow opportunity-wise that we can improve in, even though we won. 2 players that stood out, Cyrus Simford, just like Matt Williams, another guy that we told you last week, like Nostradamus, to say, watch out now. Okay, this guy you guys don't know about. Okay, he played JV last year. Okay, he's gonna struggle some because he's a sophomore, but he's got all the right ingredients. Well, he came up big in the second half. He had 18 points, 6 for 9 shooting, 3 for 5 from the three-point line, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, had 5 rebounds, 4 defensively. Now, that's Bartow basketball. The guards got to get their butt, and Tony Bradley's not walking through that door. Chris Perry, by the way, congratulations, Chris Perry. I saw where he won a championship down in the league he was in. So we got 3 pros. Chris Perry's playing pro ball down, I think, in South America, won a championship. Congratulations, Chris Perry. But we don't have Tony Bradley and Chris Perry walking through that door. We have to rebound the ball guards. He had 5 rebounds, 4 defensive. He working to get better on defense, not great. He did fall asleep on a couple of blobs, baseline out of bounds. We'll talk about that in another episode, and gave up some points that way. But he played a great second half and a great game. Second guy, James Rattery, had not played well and still has not put a great game together yet. But 17 points, a great second half, 6 for 14 shooting. You guys know James. He's electric. Only took 1 3. Really is our second best 3-point shooter, we feel like after Jay. 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds. That's what I'm most impressed with. 3 defensive, 3 offensive. Guards got to rebound to win championships. Guards got to rebound. Great second half offensively. Really made some individual plays. We kind of sprayed the floor out down the stretch, and he made some individual great plays because he's very skilled and stuff like that, and quick with the ball. And he can put the ball in the basket. He has to work to be better defensively. If y'all see him get pulled out, don't get mad at me. Y'all coach him and say, y'all know, McGriff gonna pull you out for your defense because I'm gonna pull him for his defense. Now y'all know how it is. We can't get to Jacksonville if the guy ain't gonna guard. But he was sensational on Friday night in Olympia, enough for us to get a 77-64 win. I want to shout out a few people that helped with the thuggery and the pivot. Derwin Leak, Matt Williams, Kenny Cotton, Dylan Brinson. Total thuggeration. We walked out there and we looked like the bad news bears out there. People looked at us. We all these small guys. Derwin, the biggest guy we got, he looked kind of goofy. Y'all know he is kind of goofy. I love you, Derwin. And it was total thuggeration. I love it. Now, you want to get Coach McGriff excited, go out and hit somebody. Okay, and we hit, and we get, and we bump, and we grind. It's the best road win we've had outside the county in 4 years, since 2021. I'm not talking about these games we're going to next week. We'll win a showcase. It's a neutral court game. It was a road game. They had a good crowd, cheerleaders there, okay, student section. Wasn't as packed as Dr. Phillips, but good crowd. In the end, the Jackets were smiling. So great win, 2-0 week, okay, for Bartow. Preview next week's games. We've got 2 games this week. You guys know Thanksgiving, you really don't play home, you really don't play away. People host shootouts, a lot like we host the Mosaic at the end of the year. A lot of people host shootouts, and so we play in shootouts. And we try to go to play in shootouts in Tampa, Orlando. We've been going to Orlando for years because we play good competition. You cannot get a better opponent than the opponent we play Tuesday. November 25th, we play Fort Lauderdale Stranahan. We play at Orlando Edgewater, 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Tuesday, November 25th, at Edgewater, 4 p.m., we play Fort Lauderdale Stranahan. Let me tell you a little bit about Stranahan, the Dragons. This is our first ever meeting in the regular season. We played them 2 times in the summer over the years. I think we beat them down in Miami. We went down there the year we won the state, the first year we won the state, and so it's the summer of 2019. And McGriff, how do you remember that? Okay, there was a fight that broke out down there, and so I remember that. Okay, 2019, way down there, we won the state that year. I think we beat them without Walter Clayton at that time, so that we knew we were going to be pretty good, and then boom, we get Walter Clayton, and we were really great. That was the year we went 31-1. They beat us in Gainesville, not last summer, but the 2 summers ago. It was going into Jay Crosley's sophomore year. They beat us in Gainesville, and so we've never met in the regular season, but this is a shootout. Edgewater's hosting a Central Florida versus South Florida contest. So they picked the best schools in Orlando. Edgewater, Evans is there, Jones is there, Oak Ridge, primarily African-American coaches. They call it the African-American coach, Central Florida versus South Florida Classic. They needed another team from the Orlando area, and some kind of way they said, well, Bartow, would you come and play? We say, we'll come and play. Well, guess who's got the best team of it? It's a 2-day event, Monday and Tuesday. We're playing Tuesday. Guess who got Stranahan? Yellow Jackets. I love it. Why am I pumping up Stranahan? They were 25-7 last year. They won the Class 4A state championship, the Class 4A. Coach Williams, I know him. I don't know him well. Coach Terrence Williams, Hall of Fame coach. Why he's a Hall of Fame coach? They won 4 state championships since 2019. They won it in 2019, 2020, 22, 2022, and then 2025. They are outstandingly coached. Okay. How do you know a team is outstanding, is coached in a great way, above and beyond the talent? Because you have to have talent to win. There's no coach that's winning just because he's a great coach. You got to have players. They play tenacious defensively and on the boards. They're committed to the system. They play beautiful offense. They share the ball. Everybody knows their role, okay? They play inside out on offense, okay? I'm watching some tape on them getting ready. I saw the coach get into one of their guys. The guy was looking to coach face-to-face one of his better players. They take coaching. So very, very well coached. We played him in the summer a couple of times. Okay, we watched his team play in the state championship games. He's won 4 of them. Okay, and we're in for a challenge. They got everybody coming back from a state championship team. So now, the thing that comes to my mind, Yellow Jackets, is poise. The difference between Olympia and Stranahan, the poise of Stranahan's guards. Will we be able to affect them? We're getting into a little bit of all that. We'll get into more of it in a second. But they're poised. I saw them play in some tape, and they were very poised. They went to Andrew Jackson. Champions like to play champions too. So Andrew Jackson's been in 3 or 4 Final Fours the last 6 or 7 years. They haven't won it. Stranahan's won 4 state titles. Stranahan leaves Miami to go to Jacksonville to play at Jackson. Jackson's got a 2-point lead with 30 seconds to go. Misses 2 free throws. Stranahan, we got the tape. So McGriff, how do you know all this? So I have some coaches to watch. We're preparing for Stranahan, right? And so I'm watching the game. Jackson misses 2 free throws. Stranahan finds a way to get the rebound, scores, forces overtime, wins in overtime at Jackson. That's a state champ, the poise, okay? And if we're going to beat Stranahan, even though it's a neutral site, neutral court, we're going to have to be poised, okay? And we haven't always played poised. We'll see if we can get a little better in practice. We had practice today. We got a little shoot around tomorrow. Tuesday, we'll see if we get a little better, okay? They're top players. So for you folks coming to the game and you people watching, I think they're going to broadcast it live. Number 1, Kristen Jurgen. He's a senior. 15 points a game he scored last year on the state championship team. Man, elite slasher to the rim. Man, he can get to the rim. Hang on like a monkey bars, get to the rim, dunk on you. Super athletic, downhill, excellent rebounder, good defender, number 1. Number 11, Isaiah Brown, senior, 6'10". We'll see. Hey, we'll know how if we thugs or not after Tuesday. Now we think we thugs. Okay, Olympia is great. It's a great win. Us and Olympia are about the same though. We're teams that have talent. Olympia's got a lot of juniors. We got a lot of sophomores. But Olympia hadn't been to the Final Four, and we haven't been with this group. Well, Stranahan's got kids that have been to the Final Four, so it's a different test, right? Isaiah Brown, 6'10", committed to the University of North Florida. Shot blocker, rebounder, strong finisher, great footwork inside, up and under move, got a hook, intimidator, okay, electric inside, rim lob catcher, stuff like that, 6'10". Number 0, Kendrick Harder, transfer from down there, okay, shoot the ball. He's their best shooter. Okay, also an excellent defender, good on the ball defender. Okay, and then the key to last year's team and the key to this year's team for them, he's a junior this year, Damari Foster, their point guard, smooth, poised, doesn't get sped up, can handle the ball with both hands, can shoot the ball. He made some big shots down in that Jackson game, can get to the rim, okay? So it's going to be tough to turn him over. Do I envision us turning Stranahan over 23 times? I don't think so. What's our goal with him and them? Defense is about making people what? Uncomfortable. We got to make them uncomfortable. We don't necessarily have to turn them over. We got to speed up his mind a half a second. With elite guys like him, if you can speed them up a half a second, that may be the difference in the game, right? And the other guys. They got number 4, a little 5'8" kid that's quick as a cat that can play, so they got some other guys, okay? What will it take for us to win? Okay, one thing we talked about today, we had a huge shot margin against Jenkins and Olympia. We had 23 more shots than Jenkins. We had 21 more shots than Olympia. I do not think we're going to have that kind of disparity. If we do, I like our chances. But I think Stranahan is better than those teams. So we do need the offensive rebound. The turnovers, we need to keep our turnovers down. Do I think we can turn them over 23 times? I'm not sure. Okay, so then the second way we do need to have more shots, but I don't think it's going to be that much of a disparity. So what are we going to do to make up for it? Be more efficient, make open shots. There's no coaching with that. We don't put pressure on people to make shots. Our goal for our shooters, take good shots, okay? Make sure your fundamentals, make sure you're balanced, make sure you're following through that kind of stuff, okay? So make shots, that would certainly help. And then we got to have balance. We got to have paint points and perimeter points. Can we guard in Bartow style? That's the other key. Can we guard in Bartow style? I was telling somebody, we can't out-Orlando the Orlando teams. I told our kids that. We're not going to out-South the South teams, the people from Fort Lauderdale, the people from Miami. We've got to do what Polk County does. The games kind of be a little bit rough and tough, and it's got to be a little bit disconjointed. We like smooth basketball, but we want to dictate. And so can our defense dictate? We're going to find out. Okay, that's on Tuesday, 4 o'clock at Olympia. Stranahan, the defending state champs in 4A. Love those kind of matchups. As soon as they called me, I said yes. And then when they said, well, would you play Stranahan? Yes. Yes, we will. Okay, Friday, we're going to the Metro Challenge. Scott Williams runs the Metro Challenge, Metro versus Florida Challenge at Apopka. You guys know Scott. He's a Polk County guy, coached that Lake Region for 8 or 10 years way back in the day. Been in Apopka for a while. We go to his event every year, just like we host a Mosaic every year. He hosts the Metro every year around Thanksgiving time. Sometimes we play on Wednesday on it. Sometimes we play on Friday or Saturday. This year we want to play on Friday right after. We play the East River Falcons. Bartow fans, you're going to be familiar with East River. Why? They came to Bartow last year for the first round of the playoffs, so we're familiar with them, right? Second meeting we've ever played them. Okay, we played them last year in the playoffs. Okay, opening round. Well coached. Scott O'Gallagher. 4th year with the team. Had 12 wins his first year, 14 his second year, 20 last year, and a playoff appearance. And guys, he's playing in a district that's really tough. Who's in his district? Edgewater made the state championship game. Evans made the state championship game. Edgewater made the state championship game the year before. Edgewater and Evans in his district, and then he's got Lake Minneola. All those teams made the playoffs. They had 4 teams in their district make the playoffs. They were pretty good last year, 20 wins, okay? Coach O'Gallagher has coached in Oregon, Washington, California. Last year he coached the boys and the girls. Both made the playoffs. I have a tough enough time coaching the boys. No way I can coach both of them. I don't know why he does that, okay? And a good fact about Coach O'Gallagher, he works for EA Sports. So he actually is a software engineer for EA Sports. You guys that play Madden and FIFA Live and all those games, he works for the company that makes them. They got a big shop now in Orlando. That's why he moved from California to Orlando. So he's not a school teacher, but he's probably smart. He's making a lot of cash. And he plays a game that we all know, Madden, right? Last season, we told you they were 20-7. They made the first round. We put them out. And they lost everybody, but I got their starters. Been watching some tape on them, got their starters. Number 1, Cameron Graham, starter, point guard, 5'11" point guard. Number 10, Brian Stocks, 6'1", shooting guard. Number 15, David Q, spelled Q-I, but it's pronounced Key. David Key, but it's spelled Q-I, but it's pronounced Key. 6'4", swing man, that can put the ball on the floor. He's a junior. Okay, number 20, Nito Manike, I may be mispronouncing it, so forgive me. 6'6", center. Okay, number 23, Aiden Zervos, 6'4", really athletic small forward, okay? Style of play. They want to play like a Midwestern team, like Purdue, like Michigan State. They want to control the game with their defense. They pack it in on defense. They force you to make shots. They're very physical. Okay, they wall up. They take charges, things like that. They play man-to-man. You guys who saw them last year probably remember that. Offensively, they're very controlled. They'll fast break, but they're very controlled. They run a ball screen offense, okay? They run the dickens out of it over and over and over again. They make you guard them. Okay, they like to play inside out, okay? What will it take for us to win the game? Game of tempo. Okay, Yellow Jacket fans, this is a game of tempo. They kind of want to play at a control pace, long possessions. They want the clock to run. We would like to play a little bit faster. How do we do that? We've got to speed them up with our defense. So I don't think we want to play fast offensively and take bad shots. We want to speed them up with our defense and make them uncomfortable. Y'all say it with me. Uncomfortable. We want to make them uncomfortable. Okay, offensive rebounds to get second shots. Okay, we got to be efficient on offense. We can't take quick shots, right? We got to have balance. Got to play inside, out. They force you to be patient, so we got to be patient and then wear their butt out by being patient. And then physicality. We cannot let them, with their style of play, be more physical than us. We got to be physical. Okay, and so different styles make different fights. Okay, at Apopka. We play at 5:15 on Friday, November 28th. At Apopka, we play East River from Orlando. They're right on the East River in Orlando, Florida. But we play them at Apopka, 5:15 on Friday. So we had 2 shootouts. Okay, the South Florida, Central Florida Challenge on Tuesday, the Metro Challenge on Friday. A great week of Thanksgiving basketball. And remember, for Thanksgiving, we are rejuvenated. We're going to recreate, and we have a family reunion. We're looking forward to Thanksgiving on Thursday as well, and wrapped around 2 good games of basketball. We do have practice Monday. We had practice today. We got practice on Wednesday. We'll give the kids Thursday off so I can cook apple pie and dressing. So thank everybody for tuning in. We need you to go to YouTube, and I don't know what they call it, but like or subscribe is what my people say. Subscribe to YouTube. I should have said it at the beginning. So I want Bond to take this clip and say it at the beginning. We need you to go to YouTube and subscribe to YouTube, because we're putting it on YouTube. I'm not sure we're going to put it on the other stuff anymore, but we're going to send you a link to go to YouTube. We're going to try to build that base up. So Mondays with McGriff, Season 3, Episode 3. Thanks for tuning in.
Alright, cause we in the trenches.